We joined the LIC in 2002. We traveled pretty much before that. But I walked every day, and I met Dick Van Cise, who was a member. And he kept telling me, you need to join, because we didn't know anyone, and had sort of thought maybe we'd made an error in moving out here where we didn't know anyone. And our street had one other, 16 homes on our little street, but there was only one full-time family living there, and they didn't socialize. In all the years that I knew them, I was never inside their gate. So, it was kind of, so when I met Dick, who was one of the friendliest, most delightful people you'd ever meet, and he always had his dog with him, and he talked us into going to a meeting. And we went, and we joined, but then we took off and were gone for 3 months. So we were sort of, weren't very active in the first year. Well, they had an election, and there was a couple, a man and a woman, and she was elected secretary, and he was elected dock chair. And in those days, husband and wives could do that. And he got sick, and they quit because he was quite ill, and she quit to take care of him. And I was working behind the counter in the kitchen, helping with the coffee and things. And two women that I had met, Lisa Bryan and Carolyn Wiley, came up to me and said, why don't you be secretary for us till we get somebody? And dumb me, I said, well, yeah, I could do that because I had done that. And I did, and that was that started it. And I've been secretary, I think 3 times. Not always elected, somebody quit and I filled in. And then it ended up that I was more. And I've been membership chair, and I've done the kitchen, and Larry's been president and member at large.
In 2003, Rich Hildall was president, who lived just down the street from us there on the peninsula we have, McDermott Point. And I met with him, and they changed the election cycle where the president no longer was voted on in December, but in June. So he stayed on 6 months further, and he asked me if I'd come on as
The member at large.
As a member, a board member at large. And after that was over, I ended up running for president in 2003.
No, you were president 2004 to 5.
I was 4. When one of the interesting things was I was elected president at the meeting. After the meeting was over, and I had really no action. I hadn't done nothing within the club other than just attend. And I walked into the office that we have in our building there, and looked around. There's a desk and a typewriter and a copy machine, and that was it. And I asked the silly question of, well, where are the records for the company? And they all looked at me and they said, well, if you go back and you look at each president for the last 3 or 4 years, you'll find in their home, in their closet, a cardboard box full of the records that they kept while they were president. And I said, oh. And so I Harry Foss was a friend of ours, boater friend type, and chatting with him, he sounded interested in helping get this thing organized, and so he and I agreed, and he went over to Boeing Surplus and came back with 2 filing cabinets we put in the office, and then we went around and collected all of the cardboard boxes and brought them over. We had another lady that was from Gig Harbor that ran an office of good size and understood organization and how to accomplish it, and she and Harry and myself put the records together, put them in the filing cabinets, and that was the start of the LIC being a one point organization.